All right, so regarding the electronic presentation, the week before we went through about how the presentation happened and what are the devices we had and what are the characteristics of a good presentation, as well as what are the presentation softwares we have to we need to get to know, right? So today we are going to talk about the fundamentals of presentation software with the help of Microsoft Office PowerPoint, right? So how you can find the Microsoft Office PowerPoint? You can just search it, right? It's better you search like PowerPoint, so it will come straight away, right? And otherwise you will be able to find a shortcut regarding that. So on those ways, you have to have the PowerPoint presentation, which is a presentation software on your computer, right? So like when you start the PowerPoint, now this is what I'm having here is the 2019 version of the Microsoft Office package, right? Your PowerPoint presentation may be slightly different, or like your operating system, I'm sorry, your interface may be slightly different from this, right? Yeah, you will be getting some noises because my little one is here. So please excuse me for that, right? Because she's all alone with me today, right? So when you open the PowerPoint, you will be given this kind of a screen, this kind of an interface before you start it. So it differs from version to version, right? Somehow you will be able to locate this blank presentation, right? So if I click on the blank presentation, there it goes, right? So the general appearance of the presentation is like this, right? So we are having different kinds of tabs, right? And like we find it in the word processing softwares and the Excel as well, right? And the home tab or the home ribbon is quite similar to the word processing software, right? It has a clipboard, it has slides group, it has fonts group, it has paragraph group, and they got this drawing group over here plus editing, right? And when you come to the insert again, you are given the chance to insert a picture, a table, shapes, smart arts, right? Chart kind of things. And for 2019 model, you got 3D models as well, right? And text boxes, something important when it comes to the presentations, header and footers, the word arts, right? As well as you can insert the audio and a video as well over here. So we are going to talk about how those things are done, right? Even we can do some screen recording using the PowerPoint 2019 version, right? And those are the major things. And some interesting stuff are there inside this design as well as in this animation, right? So design will allow you to put different kinds of designs to your presentation slides, right? And animations will allow you to do some certain animations to some particular objects on a slide. Now, what are we what are we considered as a slide? Or like, what is a slide? Slide is this one, right? The one big white area that you can see. This is the area that you will see when the presentation is running. Now, here we are at the edit mode of the presentation. So we can arrange all the things here. Then after, we have this presentation, or like the we can on this slideshow. So it will only show this slide on the screen, right? Now, if I click on this, it is going to be something like this, right? So since it is an empty slide, you won't be able to see anything. So if I press escape, I'm going to come to the editing mode again. right? So whatever the thing that you are going to do, right, whatever the creations or whatever the presentation that you are going to create, right, so you can create it using these slides. So you can take slide as many as you want, right? Okay, I'm sorry for that, people. Just a second. Right. So regarding taking the new account, right? So regarding of taking the new accounts, new slides over here, right? Putala, just give me a second. Nangi is like, hold on, hold on. Right. So regarding taking new slides, it will help you to take new slides from this home tab, right? You know about the clipboard. It is the one which allow us to do the copy pasting and cutting kind of things. You can use the same keyboard shortcuts that you have learned. Control C for copying, Control V for pasting, Control X for cutting, right? And in this slides menu, right, or the slides group, there is something called this new slide over here. So once you click on that, you will be given another new slide. So likewise, you can take one slide after the another by clicking on that particular button, right? As well as it has this drop down under it. So once you click that, you can see different kinds of new slides. We got title slides, we got title and contents, section headers, to contents, comparisons, title only. There are different kinds of layouts, right? So you can decide which kind of a new slide that you are going to use, right? Generally, the very first slide is taken as a title slide, right? It has two text boxes like this. So this is for the main title and this is for the subtitles. So there is no rule that you have to go with these things. So people, just a second. Really sorry for the disturbance, people. Right, so there is no rule of having a particular slide in the way they have provided us, or like there is no rule that we have to use it as it is, as they provide. We can change, right? All these things are text boxes. The text boxes we learn when we are doing the word processing software. So we can click and change the places. It doesn't matter, right? And there's a very nice thing here. It is giving us the designing helps, regarding the distance, regarding the spaces, right? Likewise, those things, as you can see, some red color and brown color arrows are there. So it will help us to arrange it in a proper manner, right? So we can manage it in the way we want. And remember, on a slide, without a text box, you won't be able to type anything, right? You always need a text box to type something. So due to that reason, any particular slide that is going to be there is going to be with a particular text box. Even you can take a blank slide as well, right? But most of the slides, right, will be there with a particular text box. As you can see here in the layouts, right? Only this blank slide is the one which does not contain any particular text box. All other things are containing text boxes. So text boxes are there to do the typing. So you can click on some particular place, right? Then you can start creating your content, right? So generally the first slide, we take it as the title slide, right? So right, so I took my main heading as computer technologies, and I can select it the way we select the things, and I can increase the size. Even I can change the font sizes as well, right? And if I want, I can give you some, give a subtitle, right? Or some particular thing, right? So I will put my name, right? Likewise. So do you remember that I told you we can see this on the screen as a slideshow? So once I click the slideshow, so I will see this particular thing over here. So computer technologies by Yugantha Laktaru. So simple as that. Right. So likewise, the first slide will be a title slide always, and we can change as we want. And the second slide and rest of the slides will be defaultly format, right? Defaultly format as the content slides, right? Like this. Yeah, title and content. So if you click on this particular button, you will be getting title and content slides again and again. If you want to change the layout, once after you have the particular slide onto the PowerPoint, you can select the particular slide, right? So this is the first slide. Here I'm selecting the second slide. I can change the layout. Remember, it's not from here. This will give you a new slide very nimbly. It's not going to change the layout. What I'm going to do is this particular second slide is having the title and the content layout. So I'm going to change it. So if I need to change the layout, I have to go to the layout command, and now it is title and content. If I change it as two contents, so it will change into that particular way. If I want to do it a comparison, we can do like this. If I want to take content and a caption, I can do it like this. Right? And again, I can make my layout as a blank one. So you won't be seeing any text boxes. Then I can create my own format. I'll take a text box. You can take a text box from here in the drawing group, right at the top of the shapes. As you can see, right? This text box is there, right? With that, you can draw. So then you can create text boxes as much as you want. And you can change the content, right? But you have to type some things over here, right? Then you can change it in the way they have arranged, where you want to arrange the page, so you can change, right? So it is easy. There is no rule that you have to go only with these layouts. You can create your own layout. Okay, people, is that clear so far? Right, okay.
Yes, sir.
Right, okay. So then let's move to your text box and see what else that they are going to talk within the lesson. So they have talked about how the things are going to happen, and here they have introduced the things. So we know about these things. The quick access toolbar, we know where it is, the title bars, tabs, ribbons, right? The slide pane, where you can see the slides, right? The workspace, where you can see the working area, right? And we didn't talk about this task pane. We know about the zoom controls from the word processing software. And this view tab, it is something important. Let's talk about it. The status bar and the note pane. We have to talk about that as well, right? So let me show you those things. Now you can't see the task pane as well as the note bars and all these things. If you want to see those things, you have to go to the view tab, right? Then you have to take the things, so like you have to enable the things for you to see the notes and all these things. So there is something called note. Once the note section is enabled, I will be given the chance of printing something here. All right. So if I want, I can change the size of the note, right? But these notes will not be a part of the presentation, right? It is there as a help for a presenter, right? Or else a presenter can have some notes over here. Then he can print these notes out, and he can use it when he is doing the presentation, right? It's definitely not going to be a part of the presentation, right? As well as we can have the guides if you want, and you can see some dotted lines on my slide. That is because of these grid lines. I can get rid of that grid lines by unchecking the grid line, right? So if I want to fit my working area to the window, so I'm going to fit it, right? So likewise, you can arrange your notes, and the task pane yeah, Osit me, if we share, you can see right now. I am sharing my screen now. So I think you can see this particular thing. But when I'm in the presentation mode, you won't be able to see any of the notes. Even I won't be able to see the notes, right? It is just the contents, right? Okay. And this is what you call the status bar. It shows what are the details, or what are the primary details about this presentation. It says there are 5 slides. I'm at the 3rd slide, slide 3 of 5. And what's the language that I'm using? And here you can, you are given a facility to show and hide the notes, right? If I click it, it will hide. If I click it again, notes will be shown, right? There is something called comment as well. Comment is there to make a comment regarding a particular slide, which is not very important for us, right? And these are the view tabs. The first one is selling the normal view, which is the view that you can see. Right, in that view, you can see the slide pane and the slide and the notes. And if I take this into a slide sorter, look what happens. Slide sorter will show you what are the slides that you have in your presentation, and it will allow you to arrange the slide in a very quicker manner. Right? Slides this is the best way of doing that. Having the slide sorter. Right? Then there is something called reading view. Right? So in the reading view, we will be given the full screen size of a presentation, but it's actually not a presentation kind of thing. Right? Because if it is a presentation, these the headings and the status bars will not be shown. Right? So the last view mode is the slideshow mode. So if I click on that, the entire screen will get occupied by the presentation. Right? So how we are going to get away from that? Using the escape button. Press the escape. So you will be on the view that you were having when you are starting your presentation. Right? I'll switch back to the normal view. Thank you, Suzu.
Do you have the black pen?
I don't have you. You took the board, Suzu.
I don't have it.
I only have the clip. You have the black pen.
I don't have a pen.
You have to find. You got the black pen with you.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So that's regarding the view modes. Right. Now, even these view modes are there in the view tab as well. Right. The status bar, even this view tab is also having those views. Right. And as you know, the zoom in option is available. It's better you had it, or better you set it in a way that you can see the slide fully. Right. The mama calling I advised you to do the things by keeping this on the 100% size. Otherwise, you will be getting some other output when you are having a printout, right? But here it's better you create a slide which is fixed onto your screen, right? It is because when it is presenting, you need to see it fully. So when you are designing, it's better to see on that particular manner, right? Okay, so let's move to the book and see what else we are going to enter the task pane. Yeah, now the task pane is actually happens when you are doing the animation and all these things, right? Like the animation pane, I can take that particular one. So let's discuss that particular thing when the time comes. Okay, so we get to know about the components, right? And we get to know about the views as well. This is regarding the LibreOffice, right? So LibreOffice Impress is the one which is going parallelly to the Microsoft PowerPoint, right? And it is talking about those things which we do not need to be bothered. And again, the same parts in the PowerPoint is going to be here as well, right? So, yeah. So this is about the slide layouts. We talk about the slides layouts, what kind of slides that we can use, how to change the layouts, right? And you will see like there are different kinds of layouts with the when we compare the PowerPoint as well as the Impress, right? So yeah, here they are guiding us to have a new presentation. So let's try to have our own presentation with the help of these steps, right? So first we create a particular presentation, then they ask to save it, right? So how we are going to save a presentation? It's very simple. It's a very same way of saving another particular document. Go to the files, go to the save. No, Sidmi, they will generally ask the question because this LibreOffice and Microsoft, they are having the tools in almost parallel ways, right? So they won't specifically ask about, okay, what is the icon of in the LibreOffice or kind of things. They won't ask like that. They will just show you an icon and ask what can we do using this particular facility. Then those will be both in the Microsoft PowerPoint or like Microsoft product as well as the Libre product, right? They are most of the things are common in those two softwares, right? Okay, so when you are saving, so it's the very same way of saving things. You can browse for a place, right? For the moment, I'll check the desktop, and I'm going to give the same name, Computer Technologies. So it will save in the extension of PPTX, and I am saving this. So once it is being saved, you can see that particular presentation right over here, right? So if you want to close it, you can close it, then you can double click and open it. Right, so then after the saving, they have said how to open the existing PowerPoint presentation. It is easy. Go to the open and choose a particular presentation which is existing inside the computer already. Right, and then the slide background style is there. Right, now slide background can be changed using the design in part. Right, so you can go to the design submenu and you can have different kinds of templates over the backgrounds, right? So you can choose Tesandu, I'm not, you're asking about the long form. Yeah. I think it is PowerPoint templates kind of thing. I really didn't search for that, Tesandu. PPT, it's PPTX that they are saving, Tesandu, right? And you are not going to have any questions, something like that, Tesandu, like the extraction of the PPTX? No, right? So it most probably it's PowerPoint PP TS kind of things, right? So let's, if you want, we can see how it happens. PPTS abbreviation. Have they given? Yeah. No, this is something else. Yeah, PPTX, not the S. Yeah, it says PowerPoint presentation file format, right? It's kind of a word segment that we use, PPTX. Then DOCX there is nothing stands for D and O and C and X. It's just DOCX, docs, to find something. Like when it comes to the PDF, yeah, we have extraction, portable document format kind of things. Not everything is going to be like that, right? Okay, so here you can choose any kind of particular templates, right, or the designs, right? So it will be look very nice when you are presenting, right? It matches the colors, right? The font colors, sometimes some font types is also being matched into this, right? And there are different kinds of templates, right? Or the background designs where you can choose, right? And it allows you some particular what we call versions as well, right? So likewise, you can have different types of things. So just go through your PowerPoint presentation and just see, visit to the design tab and try to have a design. So let me have a design. What are we going to have? Let's have this. I like this. All right. Oh, it's better we go with the rainbow color. Something like this. Yes. Yes, we can. We can apply the background one after the other, or we can apply everything, right? But when it comes to the design, it automatically applies to everything. Right now, if I go here and if I choose this, it changed its format. Like it changing the entire thing, but you can go and format the background as you want, right? No, Tesandu, this is something I already have in my computer, but I'm not downloading anything. But sometimes in your computer, the designs may be slightly changed. I download karapua. I really don't remember what are those. But in 2019, they give these kind of things, right? So we can have this type of backgrounds in the way we want, right? So excuse me. So generally, when you are applying the background, it applies to everything. If you want to have separate backgrounds, then what you are going to do is you are not going to apply any formats for this, right? So you will just keep it as it is, like a blank presentation, right? And there is this format background option over here. So once I click it, I'm given a particular options over here. Yeah, Udamya, when you are designing a particular background, it should be like very eye-catching, or like it should not disturb the audience, right? We thada ratu paata wage dala as වලට බලා ගන්නම දැන් ඔයගොල්ලොන්ට experience වෙලා තියෙනවනේ ලොකු contrast තියෙන board එක දැන් flash light එකක් ඉස්සරහා අපිට හිටන් ඉන්න හරි අමාරුයිනේ අපේ ඇස් රිදලා. So same goes with the presentation, right? That is why, like, if you go through the backgrounds over here, they are using some soothing colors. නේද? කියන්නේ ඇසට අමාරු නැති colors තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? So if you want to have your own colors, you can format the background as you want. So in there, you can use solid fill, you can have a gradient fill, you can have a texture or particular picture, right? Or you can have a pattern fill, different kinds of patterns are there, right? So likewise, you can do, or if you want, you can hide the backgrounds, right? Background graphics. So when you give a solid fill, you can choose what are the fillings that you are going to have, right? And you can choose whatever the color you want. So here, the slide by slide, I can choose the colors I want, right? So we can change our background as we want with that option. Otherwise, we can choose nice and easy template from here. So which will help you to have different kinds of things as you want, right? Now, could you see what happens here? Right, so I have changed the color into the green color over here. So it changed the way I want, right? Now I change once after I apply the particular color, it will change. Yes, Tesandu, you can. I'm going to show that to you as well. If you want, you can have a particular picture or a pattern if you want. Right, so let me reset this quickly. Right, so and some other thing, if like you can use this apply to all thing to send the or like to apply the changes that you have done to the background, or you can reset the background. Right, so how we are going to choose a picture? If I take a picture or texture file, it is going to apply a texture automatically, right? If I want to take a picture, I have to use this insert button. I can click insert, and I can say from a file. So I can go for the backgrounds that I have. So there were some backgrounds when I was making some things. Yeah. So like if I want any particular thing as my background, I can use it. Right. So if I give this pattern and say insert, it is inserted. Later I can apply that to all. So everything will be applied likewise. Right. So likewise, you can have your own background. But remember, when you are applying a background, do not apply backgrounds which will hide your content. Hide කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ හංගනව නෙවෙයි. Background එක ගොඩක් කලබලකාරී වුණොත් උඩ තියෙන content එක පේන්නේ. Now, if I choose a particular background like this, let's say I have choose this particular person, right? So then I have to manage this particular content right over here. But if I apply this, if I apply it to all, now having a particular content over here is not a very successful one. සමහර ඒවා මේ පින්තූරයට වැහෙනවා. Right? So when you are choosing a background, remember to have some similar idea like this. මේගොල්ලන්ගේ title slide එක ලස්සන වුණාට, right? Other slides, they are not that decorative, right? Now if I take this, let's take this. See, now this is the title slide and these are the content slides, right? So according to the content, it is not that messy. If I choose this, so this is going to be the title slide. The rest of the things are in white. right? So likewise. So always remember to have something like that. The මේගලගේ graphics එහෙම එනකොට බලන්න graphics apply වෙන විදිහ. දැන් මේකේ graphics apply වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ කෙලවරට විතරයි. Content is not being disturbed by the graphics. Likewise. Right, so that is the way that you can apply the background, a background that you want, the background that they are providing, right? So you can change it as you want. Yeah, adding text to a slide, we talk about this. To add a particular text, we need to have a text box, right? So other than the text box, people, just a second, give me a second. Right. Yeah. Now, when you are adding a text box, we talk about how to draw the text box on a slide, right? So if you want to add something over here, so these are the little text boxes that we took, right? So likewise, we can go to the insert and take a text box from here, or we can take a text box when we add the home tab from here, right? So likewise, you can type anything you want, right? And the next one is adding the objects, right? So what kind of objects that we have? We can have shapes, we can have other type of objects. I'll show you the clip arts, the pictures. We can apply those kind of things, right? So let's see what are the things that we can apply. Right, so now let's go by the this particular heading, right? So I'm putting a design that I'm fond of. Yeah, I was thinking about this one name. Yes, computer technologies, right? And again, people remember, when you are designing something, sometimes when you are going down the presentation, you will feel that okay, this particular background is not very much matching with this content, so I need to change it. So first of all, think it carefully what kind of a thing that you are going to do, right? ඔයාට slide එක ගොඩක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕන නම් මේ වගේ එකක් අරගත්තම මට slide එක ගොඩක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න බෑ. මගේ උඩ තියෙන ටික පොඩ්ඩක් disturb වෙනවා. Right? So if I really want to use my slide, මේ වගේ එකක් ගත්තොත් see එයාගේ වම් අත පැත්ත පොඩ්ඩක් disturbing. Right? So that's according to the way that you are going to do things. Right? මෙහෙම ගත්තොත් මෙයාගේ bottom line එක ඊට පස්සේ left and bottom margins පොඩ්ඩක් disturbing. Right? ඒක ඔයාට ගැලපෙන විදිහට manage කරගන්න ඕන. Right? Okay, so yeah, when you are, by experience we know that like when you are given the chance to do things, you will be doing something very amazing with these things. So I'll let you to experiment things, right? So I'll go with these kind of things, right? Okay, so once I get to know, once I choose a particular background, right, then I'm going to go for a next slide. Yeah, this slide was the slide that I was making it as a blank one and taking some text boxes onto it. I'm going to delete that slide. So how we are going to delete it? you can click the specific slide and you can press the delete button. So it will get deleted. And to add a slide in a very quick manner, you can place the cursor in between the slides that you want a new one, and you can press enter. Now we got 4 slides. Once I press enter, you will be given another slide. But remember, when you are given that kind of a slide, it is always a title and a content slide that you are going to have. So if you want to change the layout later, you will change the layout right from here. All right. So I'm going to change the content into this. Okay, where is my title and the content right over here? Yeah. So here by default, I have given the title. So I say input devices, right? And here, if I click, I can add the text, or I'm given a certain icons at the middle. So from that, it will give us the chance to add the objects into it. So I can add a table, I can add a chart, smart art, a 3D model, a picture, online picture, a video, an icon, right? Kind of things. Now, if you click on the table icon, it will ask what kind of a table that you want. So I can change the columns and rows over here. So I'll make 6 columns and 3 rows, 4 rows, let's say. I press OK, so it will be there. Right, then I can change my object using these dots. And I can change the places of my titles are being saved. Right, then I can manage it. Right, if I choose a chart, it will straight away open the chart insert in part. Then it will give us the chance to insert a particular chart. Right, but when we are inserting a chart, it will automatically give us an Excel environment for us to enter the data that we want. Right, නැත්තම් chart එකක් හදාගන්න data ටිකක් ඕනේ. ඒතර data ටික අරගන්න වෙන්නේ මේකට අදාළව තියෙන නැත්තම් chart එකට මගේ අඳින් chart එකට අදාළව තියෙන data ටික අරගත්තම තමයි chart එක හරියට ඇඳෙන්නේ. Right, so ඔගොල්ලෝගේ Excel sheet එක, if you got already the data, you can copy and paste it over here. Right, if I change this very quickly, if I say marks over here, and let's say it's maths, science, ICT, and Sinhala. Right, so if I take 89, 57, 92, 76, so it shows us. Right, so we can save it. Right, then we can do the changes the way it going to happen, and the way we have changed the options in the Excel, we are given the chance over here as well. We can have data labels, we can change the legends, right, and we can have the title, mark analysis. Right, so then I can paste it. Right, then if I go for the presentation slide, so it's going to be like this. Right, now you can see like it is coming with these colors. It is because of the chart design I choose. right? So I can change the colors according to the theme that I have used. I can't take the colors that I want in a very easy manner. Otherwise, I have to select each and every part one by one, then I have to change it, right? But if I change my design, let's say I'm changing into this, so my pie chart will be changed automatically, right? So it's like that. So it is a total package that is given to us, right? Okay, so that is how we are going to insert a chart. And smart art, the way we learn in the word, we can have a smart art as we want, right? So if you take something like this, it will be applied, right? So I can change in the way I want, right? So I can have some hierarchies over here, right? Can be changed. So when it comes to a presentation, like less amount of words and the optimal amount of images. Optimal කියලා කියන්නේ හරියටම ගැලපෙන. ගොඩක්ම images වැඩි කරන එකත් ගැටලුවක් වෙනවා presentation එකේ. එතකොට වචන අඩු වුණාම තේරෙන්නේම නැති වෙලා යනවා. Right? But it's better you have something balance, less words, optimal amount of pictures, right? So it will easy for you to deliver things. Right, so yeah, that is the way that we can choose the object onto these slides, right? In early versions we had a very nice item called clip arts, but here we don't have the clip arts facility, right? But this icon one may help you to have some icons here, but not as much as clip arts, right? So on those days when we were learning the PowerPoint, clip arts were the best things that we had, because we didn't have the facilities to have photos from the internet. Internet was like limited on those days, right? Not every house was there with the internet, right? So we went with the clip arts, right? And the Microsoft was providing a very big bundle of clip arts, right? But not nowadays, it seems. Okay, so yeah, that is regarding applying a particular object. Even you can have some shapes as well in the way you want, right? You can format it later. Likewise, you can have different kinds of shapes according to our need, right? මේවා තියෙනවා කියලා ඔක්කොම පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Yeah, Pehara, I'll try to have a 3D model, because when we are inserting 3D models, it connects with the some other particular things. Yeah, see. So yeah, let's have this toys thing. So it's take time. there you go. Now, if I want, I can turn this and fix. Onto the places I want. Then I'm having the presentation. Yeah, it will look like this. Right. So likewise, then now 3D model is something comes up with the 2019, as I remember. Right. So it is also given us different kinds of way that the 3D model can refer, right? Yeah, Tesandu, there is a way of drawing the things, but I'm not going to go for that extent, right? Otherwise, it's going to be, yeah, it will take much time from this, right? Then Windows 10 වල තියෙනවා 3D paint කියලා option එකක්. We got that. Paint 3D. So from that we can draw the 3D items, right? So if you got the idea, right? We can like මෙහෙම අපි අන්දම මේක 3D කරලා මේගොල්ලෝ අරගන්න දෙනවා. Oh, hold on. Right, like 3D shapes. So it is, once I'm having it, I can change it. It actually comes with these things, people. So it is not something related to the PowerPoint, right? This is what we call 3D paint, right? So if you have the idea, you can create many nice things from here, right? Okay, so that is how we are going to insert the objects, right? And this is something fun. You can insert an animation to a particular object. Always remember, if you are inserting an animation, it's going to be to a particular object, right? Nothing else. Yeah, I'm just, yeah. Now, let's take it like this. I'm going to change this background into a blank one, right? Because I want to show you how the how this thing happens, right? I'll take this 3D one, so it will be much easier for me to handle it. I'll change the background or the layout into a blank one, and I'll paste this, right? So now to add an animation to a particular object, or as I told you, always remember, you can add the animation to the objects, right? Objects, right? So I select the object and I'll go to the animation side, right? So they have මෙතනට આવොත් ඔයගලන්ට පොඩ්ඩක් පැටලෙයි. මොකද මේගොල්ලෝ 3D models animate කරන්න වෙනම set එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා, right? I'll go with a normal shape, people. Otherwise, this will be yeah, this will be very interesting, but not everyone can have that, right? So I'll go with the normal object, people, right, where everyone can do it, and I'll take something from the internet, right? And remember, when you are applying, when you are taking things to a presentation, it's better you go for the PNG images, right? Because PNG images are the images which does not have a specific background. Those are transparent actually, right? So right, and find something like this. Can you see these little squares over here? Right, the squares මෙහෙම පේන්නම තියෙන පින්තූරයක් ඒ squares ටික ඔයාලට පේන්න තියෙනවා. දැන් මේ පින්තූරවල squares පේන්නේ නැහැනේ. එයාව select කරලා ටික වෙලාවක් ගියාම තමයි ඒ background එක එයා square කරගන්නේ. right, අන්න එහෙම එකක් කරගන්න. එහෙම දැන් මෙයාගේ හරියටම වටේට තමයි මේ කපලා අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. So I'm going to save this, or I'll take a copy and I can directly paste this. Right, so I can resize it in the way I want. Right, then I make it the background color එකක් දැම්ම වුණත් හරියටම බයික් එකේ ප්‍රමාණයට කිසි අඩුවක් නැතුව මට ආව එනවා. right, look at this. මේ වගේ පින්තූරයකට තමයි අපි PNG එකක් කියලා. right, නැත්නම් දැන් මෙයාගේ වටේට සුදු කොටුවක් තිබ්බනම් ඒ සුදු කොටුව පේන්න තියෙනවා. එතකොට අර presentation එකකට ඒක ටිකක් කැතයි. right, but there will be places where you have to use a background, but in most of the cases try to go for the PNGs. right, okay, so I select my object and I'm already in the animation tab. So in the animation you are given 3 types of animations: entrance, emphasis, and exit. right, so entrance means how the particular object is going to enter into the slide. Emphasize means now it is being entered, it is there on the slide, so now what to be done, some particular animation on the slide. Exit is describing about how to leave the slide. right, so now if I select this and if I select this fly in, so you can see, okay, bike is coming from bottom to top. I can change the effect options over here. It is there only for few animations, not to everything. It's like specifically when it is moving, the effect will be there. So I can change from where it is going to come. So I'll take it from the left, like the bike is arriving. right, so then I can add another animation to this. So when you need to add another animation to this, don't choose the things from here, because if you choose something else, it will replace whatever the animation that is there already. To that you have to click on this add animation. right, so once you click add animation, it will give you the same list. right, so from this you can apply the animation. So now you can see there is 1 and there is 2. right, so 1 indicates fly in, 2 indicate pulse. right, if I give color pulse, yeah, okay, I'll keep the tweet. right, then if I want to select an exit, again I can go to the add animation, I can select exit. right, so I can say fallout. right, or this particular one, and I can change to right. right? Then I can place my particular object. And when I'm going to the presentation slide, so when it is being loaded, nothing is there. Once I give a one click here, I'm going to give you a one click. Excuse me. Then you will see the bike will appear. Then I'm giving the other click, it will do the other animation. Then once I click again, it will go, right? So likewise, you can do this, do only simple animations, right? Remember that. And if you do not have any animations regarding a particular slide, now this slide does not contain any animation. Once I had this presentation, so as the very first slide, when the presentation starts, you can see this. So when I click, when I give a mouse click, it will transit to the next slide. When I give another click, it will transit to the next slide. So by click, it will go to the next slide. When it comes to the slide which has a animation, so by click, it will do the animation one after the other and will exit the slide. Right, so you are given a black slide because my animation, because my PowerPoint presentation is done. So if I take like a thank you slide over here, so once after my animation, it will change and the thank you slide will be there. Then it will end. Right. Did you got the idea, people? And it is up to you to do a lot of animations using this, right? You people like this thing, right? Creating presentations, animations, right? So those are the basic stuff, and I'll show you another animation. That animation gives you the a random path, to create a random path, right? Let me take a particular ball. I'll take this. Yeah. I'll paste it over here and I resize it. And to this ball, I can add an animation as I want. For that, I can take motion path, right? So motion path normally kind of there are lines, arcs, turns, shapes, and loops kind of things, right? So you can apply any one of those, so it will show how the motion is going to happen. So I can change the motion, right? And even without going to the presentation part, I can check my animation using animation pane. So if I say play, it will show me how the things are going to happen, right? So if I want to have a custom path, I can do the custom path. So it will allow me to choose the way, choose the animation that I want. Right? Yeah, you can see it happens in a very fast manner. Right? If I play, look at it. And if I change the duration over here, right, into somewhere around 5 seconds, This is given from seconds. If I play it, now it happens in a slower manner. Right? So likewise, you can change the speed of the animation, right? As well as you can delay the animation. Like once I given the click, I can delay this for 3-4 seconds. Now it is 3 seconds. If I click, animation will stay for 3 seconds, then it will start. Likewise. Right, so all these things are done by the animation pane. We can preview it using the animation pane and in this timing group, right? And there is something that you can do. Instead of clicking the mouse again and again, you can fix the animation to be done without the mouse click, right? You can say to happen it with previous or after previous in that particular manner, right? So we take the first animation on click and the second animation we change it to be happen with after previous. So it will happen after the first one. If this is given the same way like after previous, so all 3 things are going to be happen one after the other when I'm giving a single click, right? And I can again I can increase the duration. So I increase the duration into 1 second, and by comparing selecting everything, I can give a common time frame. I took 1.5 for each and every animation. So how I'm going to select all the things by pressing the shift button, I'm going to click on the animations that we want. Then I'm changing the duration to 1.5. So let's see what happens when this happens, when the slide is there. So nothing is there. Now I'm going to give a single click. Then I'm going to not going to do anything. So here's my first click. So by games, it steals and it leaves. So I gave only 1 click. Earlier, I had to give 3 clicks to happen those 3 things, right? So we can manage our particular animation part using those things, right? So if you think you can do very nice things from these particular animations, even I can remember when I had my first appointment in Avisavel Sitavaka Rajasinghe school, there was a student who has done the entire operating system using the PowerPoint. So once the PowerPoint is run, it shows the starting of the particular operating system. And once you click on a particular thing, it gives you a start menu and all these things, right? So it's brilliant, right? So if we think about it, then you can do different kinds of animation, and there are many things that you can do using the PowerPoint. Like we are not going to talk about each and everything. So just surf and see, right? We are talking only the things which are only matters with the textbook, no, right? Okay, so then, yeah, we talk about how to have the animation, right? Then what else is there? Yeah, we talk about how to insert a picture, and yeah, yes, the slide transitions, right? So we can apply a particular slide transition as well. Now, slide transition is done for a slide, right? Yes, Tesandu, we can do, right? So how to do a page transition? You have to go for the transitions tab over here. Now this effects on the slides කෙලිම slide එකට තමයි transition එක apply වෙන්නේ, not the objects itself, right? object එකෙන් object එකට නෙවෙයි කෙලින්ම slide එකෙන් slide එකට. දැන් මේ transitions අපි කතා කරන transition කියන්නේ මාරු වෙනවා කියන එක, right? So from one, when we are changing from one slide to the other side, how it's going to happen, right? So I can give different kinds of transitions are here, right? And you can choose some particular one particular transition and apply it to all, right? Using this you can apply it to all. Right now if I choose this morph transition and apply it to all, right? Look at what's happening here. Since I have applied since I say no transitions, look at this number 1. It's going to give you some changes when you are applying a transition. Now around the number 1 there is nothing over there, so I'm applying morph. Look at this, it gives me a star that indicates slide transition is applied to this. And about second, third and all these slides, they don't have a slide transition. So if I go and click apply all, then those 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, all 6 slides are also having a slide transition, right? Now if I play this, it has a particular effect when I'm changing from one slide to the other slide. Look at this. So here the animation happens. Right, animation එක ඉවර වෙන කලින් click කරා. Right, likewise transition will happen. So you can give different kinds of transitions. It is there, right? If you apply this cube, it will comes like this, right? Oh, පුළුවන් තේ I'll show you how to do that. So we can change the slide like this using the transition. And if you got an animation, it's not going to transit. It will play the animation on the next click. So then we have to click again. Then it will happen. Right, so likewise we can apply the slide transitions, as well as we can apply a particular sound when the transition happens, right? So I'll share the screen with sounds. And if I choose, let's say, a chime, and if I apply to all, can you hear the sound? Now that the charming happens for a single click. Now I'm going to give a single click, but it's not going to give the charming because it executes the animation. Now when I'm transiting, it is giving me a sound. Right. So likewise, you can apply it. Right, so that is regarding the slide transition. The slide decking, slide deck maru in here. Right, and there is a way of inserting a sound clip into this presentation as well. Now, remember, if you need a particular sound to be played all over the presentation, you can do that as well, right? You have to go to the insert, go to the audio, and I am going to choose the audio on my PC, right? Oh, right? So when you are done something like that, let me choose something which is not affecting my sounds over here. Hold on. What am I going to see? No, let's choose a normal song. I'll download. Right, so my sound file is getting downloaded. So I'll click on the sound and audio on my PC. My download is going to have a 1. So I'll check this and insert it. Right, so once I insert this, I have new tab called audio format. Right, so in audio format, if I want, I can trim the sounds and all these things. I can do the changes to that. Right, and I can hide this during the show. Right, and play in, if I give play in background, it's going to play in background. And if I cross this one, play across slides, so it will go along with the presentation. Right, so I can place my sound. Here's my sound. So if I play it like this, you will see the sound file over here. Once I click on it, it will start playing. Right, and if I go to the next slide, it stops automatically. Right, and if I edit my sound, going to the playbacks and saying play across slide, then it's going to play for me. I click it and I'm changing the slide now. You can see the, you can hear the sound, right? It keeps playing. right? And again, like when we are running a particular presentation, it's not good to have something like this. මේක click කරලා පටන් ගන්නවා කියනට වැඩිය මේක එනකොටම පටන් ගත්තා නම් හොඳයිනේ. So we can change that as well. Right? So we can select it and go to the audio format. Sorry, go to the playback. And we can say hide during the show. Right? And I can have this play it in background. Right? If I click play in background, if I click hide during the show and play in background, it will start automatically. Even if I can say to start it in a click sequence or start it when clicked on. But if I give automatically, if I start my presentation, you won't see any sound icon, but you will hear the sound. And again, remember, when you are using the background music, if you are talking during the presentation, remember to have it in a very low sound. Otherwise, it will disturb the thing that you are going to say. මේ මං කියනකොට ඔයගලන්ට සමහරවල්ලාට කන යනවා play වෙන එකට. එතකොට audience වල attraction කැඩෙනවා. Right? So that is how we are going to add a particular sound. Right? PowerPoint තෙසඳු මම දන්න තරමට default background PowerPoint sounds එන්නේ නැහැ. Background music කියලා මෙතනින් පුතේ තෝරන්න බෑ. No, we have to have a audio with us තෙසඳු. Right? It should be there. Right. Since it is 3:04, I'm going to end the session from here. So by next week, I'm going to show you how to add a video, right? And how to do the printing of a particular PowerPoint presentation. And we are going to done with the PowerPoint and start the database as well, right? So there are very small part there for you to understand now. So meanwhile, within this week, just try it, right? So try to have something, try to prepare something nice. I'll show you some example presentations next week as well, and I will give you some homework once we are done with this presentation for you to create something, right? So then you will be having a very nice experience with the PowerPoint, right? Okay, so I'm going to end the session from here for today. So thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you on next week for the very same time, right? All right. So have a very nice weekend, people. Thank you very much.